going on, everybody? Michael here. Welcome back to another episode of Technoid, but this one's a little bit different. We are doing a two-parter of a little mini semi-series of some headphones that I've got from a company called Status Audio. I want to give Status a huge thank you for providing one of them. I want to give a huge shout out. Thank you very much, Status, for that very kind gesture. But anyway, guys, today again we're going to take a look at two headphones, but specifically only one for this video. The next one will be coming out very shortly. And of course, we're going to take a look at their premium flagship lineup known as the Between 3 ANC. Now, Status has been on the market for a while, and they've made some big news, specifically in the earbud department in their Status Between Pro. The Between Pro was one of their biggest selling headphones that put them on the map, and now they've released a brand new model. Well, it's been out for a while. I was able to get my hands on it on a Black Friday deal. I've been using it since November. I've been using it as my daily driver to give you guys a full review, and I gotta tell you, I have a lot to talk about, so let's not waste any time. Let's get right to it. The first thing I want to talk about is, of course, the headphones themselves. Now, the headphones themselves sport a very bulky but not too bulky design. That is because of the technology that is inside of these earbuds, which I will describe in just a moment. But taking a look at the earbuds and the charging case itself, it is very similar to the previous generation, the Between Pro. However, this time around, it does have some new features in it, which again we'll get to. But in regards to the design, it is using an oval-like shaped design to help with the sound profile. It does stick out a little bit more than most earbuds. It's not flushed, but it does stay in your ear very comfortably, and I found pairing it with memory foam ear tips from Comply does the job very well. On top of that, the sound quality is also produced by what's inside of it, and inside of these headphones is a triple driver setup. It uses two balanced armatures for your mids and high end, and at the bottom you have a 10mm dynamic driver. So you have a triple driver setup that, when combined together, produces some of the best sound available on a headphone, which we'll get to in later. When you use these headphones, again, they work with your standard iOS devices and Android, but it is worth noting that these new models don't actually ship with Qualcomm aptX support like the previous models, so I'm a little bit curious as to why they probably dropped it. But I will say that it does work very well with iOS and Android, and the design itself is made out of metal. It has a plastic housing for the case, but the headphones themselves are crafted very, very beautifully. They do have touch controls and a physical button at the top, so we'll get to all that after. But overall, when it comes to the headphones themselves, they are absolutely beautiful looking, and they have a premium finish to the touch. Now, when it comes to the fit, again, if you pair it with ear foam memory tips, they do work very well. The regular silicone tips, in my opinion, are grippy, but I do find that they are very uncomfortable for my fitting, so that's why I ended up going with the memory foam. They also do have some ear hooks that can also be expanded based on the size of your ear, so it is very customizable. Now, the buttons control is very easy to know, but in the beginning it was a little tedious. So the physical button at the top controls the active noise canceling and transparency mode, which we'll get to in just a moment. When you turn the active noise canceling or transparency on, you will achieve 8 hours of battery life. If you turn both of them off, you can achieve up to 12 hours of battery life. With the charging case combined, you can get 24 hours in the case, so total together 36 hours of playtime. And then of course it does support fast charging and wireless charging built in. Again, it is rocking a triple driver setup. We'll get to the sound quality in just a moment. But real quickly, in regards to the active noise canceling, these things do a solid job and they perform very, very well. Of course, and I have to point this out, they are obviously no AirPod Pros. Again, I don't want to be those reviewers that always have to compare back to the AirPod Pros, but I do really feel like these are the earbuds to beat because of how Apple has made them and how easy they've been made to use over the years. But I will say, when it comes to performance, I think that these things are the closest to the AirPod Pros for the transparency, because the transparency is actually one of my biggest positives, as it's actually the most open microphone that I've used on any earbud. And these are rocking 6 microphones total, 3 in each earbud, but they are allowing for such a nice amount of sound. But I will say that the noise canceling is a little bit in need of some tweaks. I do feel like it allows in some higher end sounds, like if I'm going for a walk in the park and I hear a garden, lawnmower or birds in the distance, it'll block out the general sound. It'll do a good job, especially in commutes, but when it comes to those high pitched sounds, it can still ring in. but the transparency allows for everything, and it's the more open microphone than most earbuds I've used. But overall, when it comes to the ANC and transparency, and that's how you control them as well with the physical button at the top, it is pretty good. Now, when it comes to the touch controls, it does feel a little tricky, but I will explain it. Both earbuds do have the same controls when it comes to the single press, play and pause. When you double press on the left, you will skip. On the right earbud, double tap will go to previous. They do have the touch and hold feature to activate the voice command, but the only negative is that you can't actually change the controls. You can't actually manually change them. They're preset, so that means if you don't like the way it is, you're just gonna have to get used to it. And the physical buttons at the top itself also have some other properties as well. You could power off the earbuds individually, put them back in the case, and you could also get the battery icon as well. So while I do like the versatility, I wish for a little bit more customization in the touch control department, but they do work very well, they respond very well, but sometimes they can be a little fidgety. So overall, when it comes to the package, it is a complete package, but I wish for some more customization in some regards. This is a microphone sample for the Status Between 3 ANC. This is what they sound like. I was able to listen back to it, and they sound eerily similar to the core ANCs in some ways, but this is what they sound like on their own. Let me know your thoughts down below. What do you think of the microphone quality for the Between 3 ANC? Now, I will say that I'm a huge Soundcore fan. I love what Soundcore has been able to do. I really enjoy Soundcore's earbuds. I've been a huge fan of their ACAA 2.0 and 3.0 design, but I gotta be honest with you guys, these things are, without, in my opinion, the best sound on an earbud that I think money can buy you. That triple driver setup is the real deal. Not only is there great separation, but there is some beautiful, crisp, clean bass in there. The mids and highs are nicely detailed. You can really hear the separation, and it really does sound so great knowing that the whole sound profile, the sound stage, is produced by different drivers, and it really shows in these earbuds. When you use just one, it makes it like a left and right mono channel, but you could hear that individual separation. And when you put them both in, it is beautiful. And the best part is, if you pair with spatial audio with Apple Music, you will also feel that three-dimensional spatial audio sound. Now, of course, there is no gyroscope, there is no head tracking in this, but from an audio perspective, it is a great sounding pair of earbuds. But I will say that out of the box, the preset EQ is not my favorite. They do come with some EQs, which we're gonna get to in just a moment with the app support, but for me, the out-of-box sound is very meh. It's more of just a muddied down version of the vocals and mids. The low end is emphasized, but again, when you go into the app and you tweak with the EQ, you could achieve a sound profile that you like. But overall, out of the box, the sound quality, you could really hear the separation, you could hear that attention to detail, but wait till we get to the app because that will definitely help in some regards. Last thing to talk about is, of course, the app. Now, the app is actually something I was really looking forward to because I was really looking forward to when an earbud features app support, and these apps were made just for this headphone. But I gotta be honest with you, is actually one of my negatives with this. First of all, the app support is very limited. It is very, very limited. It doesn't really give you much to do. It does give you the basic needs. It gives you the earbuds to connect, shows you the battery status. You can toggle a lot of the transparency and ANC. You can turn it off as you wish. It also does give you firmware updates, but as of this recording and of use and of checking the timeline, there have been no firmware updates that I can report on. Maybe that will change after the release of this video. And then, of course, the EQ support. Now, the EQ support has 3 EQs in there. You can have your custom sets. You have an audiophile EQ, which basically mutuals everything, so you hear all the detail. You have the Between 3 ANC EQ, and then, of course, the original Between Pro EQ, which is what I've been using, and it is my favorite and really brings out these headphones, makes them feel bright and vibrant. But other than that, that is really all it does. And I'm really disappointed in the app support. I do hope that Status, if they do release a firmware update or an app update where they do allow for some more customization and do open up the active noise canceling more, tweak a few things, but only time will tell, and so far they've been selling pretty well. So status, maybe you have enough feedback, maybe you have enough motivation to do it, so maybe get on it. So overall, what do I think of the Between Tree A and C? Well, listen guys, I absolutely think these earbuds are solid. I am not going to just sit here and rave about them like I do with Soundcore, but at the same breath, I am not going to deny the impact that these have. These are a very, very good pair of headphones. They do the job in terms of sound, battery life, active noise canceling, and transparency, which is the biggest status of the whole thing, and really just giving you a complete package. But I think a few of my negatives is that for the price range, it ranges at $250, and you can find it on sale for $179, which is a more reasonable price. But for that price range, I really wish that they had featured some sort of high-res audio support for Android in featuring either LDAC or aptX support. I don't like that the app is very, very limited. That's where I give Soundcore a lot of credit, where they have a very good app. I also don't like the fact that, for me anyway, the out-of-box sound is just really eh. And also, there is no show of long-term support with firmware updates. And there are some things they can tweak. The touch controls, the ANC, new features to give, but only time will tell. But overall, I will say that if you are in the market for earbuds purely on a sound profile note, if you're not interested in features, if you're not interested in the tech aspect, if you want headphones that deliver in just sound quality and sound quality only, then look no further than the status Between Tree A and C. They absolutely deliver, and I highly recommend it to anyone that wants to upgrade their audio experience. But just be mindful, there are other headphones out there, and I have done previous reviews of other headphones, so check them out in the playlist below. If you enjoyed this video, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Again, want to give a quick shout out to SuperX and to Slate Chocolate Milk. Slate Chocolate Milk and SuperX are two affiliates of the Technoid Show. Check out their links in the description. Find the next best post-workout recovery drink, the healthiest chocolate milk money will buy, and also the best activewear you can find. Hit that like button, guys. Share the video out with your friends. Thank you all for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you for part 2 when we check out the Core ANC. That comes later. Thank you for watching, and peace!